Hood Postman, City, Hood, click. Let's go.
Postman, Postman. Do you understand? Postman. Making peace in the land. Keep your head high, let the homies inspire. Turn pain into purpose, rise above the fire. From the streets to the mic, the wisdom is real. Hood Postman teaching lessons you can feel. Every chant, every word, every scratch, every beat. West Coast energy, you can't compete. The streets are made for everyone, that's why they created sidewalks. Turn my circle into a square, that way I can see who's in my corner. The lion and the tiger may be more powerful, but you ain't never seen a wolf perform in the circus. Kings don't wrestle with clowns. Cool. Holla, 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 holla. Hood Postman, Hood Postman. Hood Postman, make it understand. Hood Postman. He doing Wonderland. Hood Postman. Do you understand?
Lock the door.
Lock the door. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Millie Miller, Hood Postman. Be sure to click that notification bell. Like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below so when the dope content hit, it'll feel like the first and the 15. Welcome to the Mailroom, where you come in and take a look at your mind and examine what's in your heart. You can go anywhere in the world to get a couple of lies, but you come right here to get the truth. And the truth you shall receive. We got a special guest in the house, Big Mizz. And we got my guy, F.R.E from the Playboy. Mizz, F.R.E from the Playboys, man.
Hey, what's up, man? What's happening?
How you doing, my brother?
All right, pleasure to meet you, man.
You as well.
I think F.R.E, you got a double feed going.
Do I?
I think I hear one.
Let me troubleshoot real quick.
Maybe it's me. How about now?
It stopped. Yeah, it stopped.
Okay, good enough. Man, guys, I'm not gonna waste a whole lot of time with this because we have so much work to do and so little time to do it in. And as I say, man, this is not a glorification or the glamorization. It's always an education. So we have to get on the bus at some point and take people to school because they're not getting what they need, man. And one of my things is how the societal narratives around gangs be shifted to promote understanding and compassion and healing rather than the stigma or ostracizing one another, because we seem to ostracize each other based on labels, Mizz and Rat. I mean, you know, labels can be quite sticky, bro. And we seem to just pick them up with just out of nowhere, and we hold so dear to them. But my thing is, man, some people take exceptions with me, man, because here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna say this. I'm not hands-on with the Crips, the Bloods, the Hoovers, the BDs, the GDs. I focus and ride with black people, period. Those are the facts. Now, what anybody else does and how they do it, I don't have no problem with it because everybody has their own way of processing things and doing things. But I think that the meeting of the minds right here, I think that we possess the power to do whatever we need to do in our communities. And we was once terrible in our communities, but now we sit up on these platforms and we come to correct. Shout out to Monique Hill and shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to Marlena Williams. Shout out to King Mike and shout out to Mr. Knight. Shout out to Johnny Sullivan. Shout out to Keith. And shout out to everybody that's joining us. I appreciate each and every last one of them, man, for this powerful, high-level discussion with two powerful gentlemen that's in our communities. Again, you know, there are clear distinctions. There are clear distinctions, guys, and there's roles and responsibilities, man. I'm assuming responsibility because I know a lot of people play roles. Roles are, to me, it's just characters and mischaracterizations and deceptions and so on and so forth. I ain't gonna take too much time on that because I know you guys ready to kick in. Big Mizz, what you got for me, baby?
Well, first I want to address something. In one of your comments, somebody had said I lost a lot of weight. I did, and they said they hope I wasn't sick. So no, I'm not sick. You know, for those that don't know, I had a few months back, I found my girl in the bed, and she had passed away. So it took my appetite, and I went through a lot of stressing and everything. But I'm cool. You know, God's bringing me back. You know, it's what they say, one day at a time, man. So I just want to address it. Now, I'm not sick, even though it did put me in a hospital, but I'm cool. You know, so I'll get that out the way.
Nah, I'm glad you was able to address that, man, because people they speculate on things that they have no idea about. But now that you're here to correct it and give them a little more clarity, so they have something to matter to work with. You know what I mean? But that's awesome, man. And man, God rest her soul, man, because I had just met her.
You met her, and she died right
Yes,
after you met her. I mean,
yes,
like a couple of weeks. Yeah,
yes,
man.
yeah,
Yeah, just unexpectedly, bro, to be having a conversation with somebody and you leave and come back a few hours later and they passed away. Boy, that's a I was telling somebody, man, that I done seen a lot of people in this lifestyle that we've lived. You know, bad things have happened, but I don't think maybe it's because I'm older, or maybe just because I'm more empathetic now and I have a better understanding on how precious life is, that really had a profound effect on me. I've never been that hurt about somebody passing away. Never. Even when my mother died, it's like I accepted it, but it's hard for me to accept this one because, like I said, to be talking to somebody and then you come back, a few hours later and they're gone. It's like, man, don't take nothing for granted, man. A lot of us be holding grudges against people, don't want to talk to people, don't want to say nothing. People be mad at them, and then they check out, bro, and you can't say nothing then. They out of here.
yeah.
That kills me.
Shout
People
out
want to
to
come to the
Florian
funerals and want to,
and
it,
Henry.
yeah, it's too late now, man. So if anybody listening, you got people that you need to mend some ties with, or you done fell out behind some money, or you done fell out behind jewelry, a car, whatever the case may be. Some people just fall out behind anything now. If you really love that person, you better shut that down and let them know you love them. You might can't function with them, you might can't do business with them, but you need to let them know you love them, man, because you don't want them going in that ground and you miss your opportunity to tell them that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Fat Rat, can you add anything to what Mizz is talking about? I mean, because we all have had our own personal experiences with life and death, and we never know how it's going to affect or impact us at the time until it happens. I can't hear you.
Me neither. Still can't hear them.
No, I can't hear you. Go out and come back in. Yeah. So yeah, no.
Yeah, but you had
Go ahead.
no, I'm saying you had asked me a question before we came on the air, about the title.
Yeah,
The,
yeah,
the
yeah,
title,
yeah, yeah. So
how
more
this.
than Bloods
Yeah.
and Crips, how do the action define your actions define your essence?
Well, like I told you from the point I got involved in a lifestyle that that turned out not to be conducive for me, but at the time it was, because I didn't know any better. Um, you know, I had I had rules, man. I had a standard. I had a code, and that was to keep my word, to not you had homies, that used to, you let them ball a heater, or you let them ball something, they lock up on it. Oh man, I lost it or something. Then you see it a week later, man, you gonna lock up on my blower like that, bro? Stuff like that. Or let a homeboy borrow some money and don't want to give it back, just stuff like that, bro. You're not gonna never hear nobody on this planet say I ever did anything like that. I ever tried to take that girl. I ever tried to steal their car, or lock up on them. I had dudes supposed to be my partner, man. Supposed to be my partner, man. Was over my house kicking back and saw my cars in the backyard and came back and stole one of them, man. I thought he was my boy, man. you know. And I drove around town. The first place I went to was Compton, because Compton was known for stealing cars back then. And I didn't see nothing in Compton. I talked to a couple of cats I knew in Compton. I said, man, my car gotta be in LA, bro. And I looked around and I found it. And the dude, because I went up in there with blowers, and the dude said, man, I got the car from him. I'm like, oh man, that's supposed to be my boy, man. But I don't do nothing to him because I knew his family and everything. But you know, you can talk about people in communities who've done those type of things, but you can't put that on me. You can't say I've ever did anything, you know, to where I did not, that I messed somebody over. Yes, I gang banged, so of course I did some things with the gang banging lifestyle. But as far as me living my life and dudes were supposed to be my friends, you ain't gonna find one. I asked a couple of homies the other day. I said, man, we go back, it's like almost 50 years now. And I asked them, out of the 50 years, have you ever heard of me doing anybody foul? Not just the homies, anybody foul. Couldn't nobody say nothing, man. I'm glad. Even in the penitentiary, can't nobody say I did them foul in there. You know, you was talking about something as far as, you know, I call it a coming to blackness moment, to where, you know, when you start seeing how black people are treated, when you start seeing how black people are misused, how we misuse ourselves, and you say somebody got to be the adult in the room, man. Somebody got to be an adult in the room and represent the blackness. And that's what I started doing at the very end of my term. I started, nah, you know what, man, I'm a black man. You know, Bloods, they'll tell you, man. I done when Crips didn't want to help Bloods and riots, I got in it anyway. You know, they was threatening.
They had to go in. Once you got in it, they had to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they wanted to get me too. Man. But I stood on it, man. And one thing I noticed, Melly Mel, is every time I stood for right, it always panned out right. It never went bad. Whenever I stood up for right, it never went bad, man. That's why I don't have a problem with standing up for right, because it's never went bad standing up for right.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm gonna say this, man. The original guy, the OG himself, Raymond Washington, what a lot of people don't know is that he created Crip out of a great deal of pride. Let me see.
Out of a great deal of pride, what happened? Please tell me the rest of the sentence.
He created out of pride, bro. He wanted to be part of something bigger. I don't know why I keep getting this echo. Hello? Okay. He created it out of pride. And how can I say that is because back then they created what it was a mantra. And I'm not trying to glorify this. I'm just giving you the history of it, because he wanted to be part of the avenues and he was rejected. So he went and created something, and it became much bigger than whatever the avenues could ever be, right? But it also, he added, Crips don't die, they only multiply.
I remember that saying.
That is a mantra, bro. That is, people don't understand how powerful words can be until you go and study the power of the root words, the etymology of words, and how they manifest in the physical. And he created that, man. And a lot of people, it was just pride, bro. But I don't think he ever anticipated it to be what it is today, because Bloods are really the antithesis of what Crips are. That's all they are. They were a reaction to something that happened, and they wasn't a part of it, but they was bullied. These was guys that was bullied, and they decide to form their thing together and became something, you know. And I just wanted to say that, add that to it. But I know, Rat, you want to jump in. Let me unmute you, because you had
Okay,
that.
you had me mute
that
this sound. Am I
Yeah,
good?
you echoing.
Yeah, I
You
could
got
hear you.
something going.
I'm echoing again.
Yeah, that's why
Now
I had
that's
to
you
mute you.
echoing, Mel.
No, it's watch when I mute him.
Oh,
See, when I mute him, I'm not echoing. Can you hear me now? Now watch when I
okay. You
unmute
got
him.
to unmute him.
Yeah, go ahead. There you go. Oh, you muted yourself. You muted yourself, Rat. You muted
What about
yourself.
now?
Okay, you good.
Yeah,
Ain't
yeah.
no more echo.
Uh-uh.
Okay, first things first, man. Let me extend my condolences to Big Mizz on what he's calling his loss. But life, man, I wanna say something about that first, right? Because I just had to do what they call a eulogy for my own sister, right? And one of the things I bear
Mm.
witness to is death. You can't track the death of a spirit. You can't track the death of a soul, right? And when you fall in love with somebody and you spend that quality time with that person, the bond extends beyond the physical, right? That bond don't have an end. We kill it in how we talk about it, right? So I never, when I had to, bury my mother back in '95, right? So-called, her last breath was in my air, in my arms, right? Like a movie. And I never talk of her as dead. She's alive and well in me, right? The things that you love about a person that go beyond the physical don't die. And we should never refer to them as dead when we bring them back to life. And we always reflect on the things that are alive about them in us. So it's just a perspective. Like, just I always share that when I'm dealing with anybody who's dealing with what they call death, right? Death, the sting of death is not permanent if your life was lived in such a way that it transcended the physical. Because the physical returns to the earth. That's real talk, right? And if that's all we had and that's all we shared, when that ceases and desists, then there is a death, right? But if what we had goes beyond that, it can live forever in your heart and your mind and your spirit, homie. And that's just something I wanted to share, if it's of any value to you, man.
Yeah,
The
of
gang,
course. Yeah.
yes, sir. And then shout to your homie Rock, man, Guy Finley, man, one of my closest homies from your set, man. Real, he transitioned up in the South. He was living in the South and he all
Yeah,
kind of
man.
met
That
up.
was
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, he was my mother kept him as a foster child. That's how he was
Oh,
introduced
wow.
to the hood. He was a foster child. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that was my Celly and TS. And then when I got out and was out in Long Beach in the Carmelitos, we met up and we would always stay in contact. When the last time I was in prison in CRC, left him my little TV and all that type of stuff, man. And how we was
Oh
rocking,
yeah.
like we don't play that. Like y'all go play that. We don't play that. We
Shout out to
brothers.
my homie Greeny in the chat.
Yeah,
My homie Greeny say, "What's up, Biz?"
yeah, yeah.
Hey, tell him I give him my regards. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but where y'all
Yeah,
at on the
but
gang,
Smooth
man?
dog. What you say?
who?
You asking me?
Yeah, I
Where
thought
y'all
you
at on the
said
gang?
something.
Where y'all at on the gang conversation? I know I missed something because I had to go out.
Well, we was talking about the more than Bloods and Crips. Your actions define your essence, and I think we get sometimes we get lost in these labels once again as how these things are defined, and I think we need a little more depth of interpretation of why we do what we do. Let me see. Oh man,
Gonna hit that button again.
yeah.
Yeah. But I was thinking about something on our last conversation, man, because we went into a part of it. You seen the recent little conflict controversy with Big Sad from my set and then Blueface from Schoolyard. You seen that little controversy right there, right, man?
Uh-huh.
I know you seen that
No,
controversy.
I haven't.
You know,
I haven't.
it's a little controversy. So the Schoolyard Crips and the Playboy Gangsters been beefing since 1980, right? We talking about people
Yeah.
getting into beef who wasn't even alive when we started doing that to each other, right? It was over some foolishness when it started. But it went into this, morphed into this, assassination attempt to cross the line every day. You know how we rock, man, right? Once you get the crib started, man, it's a problem, right? But I had a conversation and I was saying, you know what I'm noticing? Because even after we started in 1980, right, with them, 1992, we established a truce with them in 1992. So I'm telling Blueface, I'm really was talking on my page, but I'm talking to Blueface. I'm saying, listen, man, you wasn't even alive when we started beefing with your hood, and then you weren't active or involved in 1992 when we established a truce with the schoolyards. Then I told him the story of how we would get into it in juvenile hall. I used Rick Rock. Rick Rock had a comment, right, about that conflict, and I kind of used Rick Rock's spin on it, what he had to say about it. Not a spin, but what he had to his spiel on it, right? And Rick Rock was saying, if y'all feel that way, yada, 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 and y'all just want to bang out, just single each other out and then go find each other and kill each other, because that's what gangbangers do, right? That's my argument. That's where I'm at with that argument. I keep saying, man, because if that's all we doing with gangbanging, right? We're not trying to take the narrative in another direction. We're not trying to get the positivity or extrapolate the positivity from what we in our personal experiences, like the ones on this podcast right now, right? We've been able to transcend, like Mizz said, he came into his blackness, and that's how he started getting down. That's the same thing I told you when me and Bam was in the hole and he was my celly, and I was starting to come into consciousness, and he kind of solidified for me that's the right way to go. So when you start moving, it's going to be controversial, right? But listen, if that's all it's going to be, right? Leave immediately. I got the instant solution, right? We don't have to do no reasoning. No, I was looking up, I was going to share one with you today. You know how we do the words. I was going to share qualitative and quantitative reasoning with you, right? The function of qualitative reasoning and the function of qualitative reasoning, right? Something that's really, really missing from the considerations that we take. We ain't really doing no math on nothing. Everything we move on is unintelligent, driven emotion. It ain't got no basis in reasoning, logic, right? We ain't doing that math. But I'm saying if that's all everybody's saying is that's what gang members do, right? That's all gang members do. I beg to differ though. I know some gang members, right? That are, and when I say gang members, that's the set they from. But their activity can't be associated with the negative component of gang activity. Just like I always go back. Okay, so what about Tookie, right? When Tookie was assassinated by the United States government, right? He was considered for a Nobel Peace Prize. He was pushing such a positive line and helping to do the crisis management, youth intervention, gang intervention, all of these different things, writing children's books. And he's a Crip, right? Or is he, or do we say Tookie at that point wasn't a Crip no more?
But keep in mind though, Aki, that Tookie wrote a book, right? They didn't want that book to do what Monster Cody book did in New York.
Blue Rage Black Redemption. Beautiful book.
Beautiful book.
Yes, sir.
But they didn't want that book to do what Monster Cody book did to New York. They didn't know what that they wanted to extinguish that light, extinguish that candle.
That thing got out and got wings and got in the air though.
I remember Mizz, when I first got the book, I was in Terminal Island. And I'm gonna talk about this with Bubs when we go on Bubs show, right? Under the groove. We gonna go see Bubs under the groove. And I was there with Clarence Hoover, Big Hoo, we call him. I said, Big Hoo, I got Tookie's book. Big Hoo looked at me and said, if I ain't in the book ain't shit. And I don't cuss. I just had to use his words to how he expressed it to me, right? I just looked at him. I said, Big Hoop, what? You just like that, Big Hoop? He said, yeah. So I walked away and read the book. I read it. Bam, there it was. Clarence Hoop. Blah, 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 blah. Went back up to the North Yard. I said, Big Hoop, guess what? He said, what, man? I said, you in the book. He's big old smile broke across his face.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, now he want to read the book. Man, give me the book. Man, I want to read the book. I said, Big Old, you're going to have to wait. Because you didn't want to read the book at first.
Yes, sir.
But it just, how we act, man. It just sometimes just from a gang member perspective, man, we got many different faces and personalities and ideas about certain things. But what was your experience with the book? Did you come in contact with it, Mizz?
No, I actually never got a chance to read that book. I saw the movie of Jamie Foxx on the Redemption movie, but I didn't get a chance to read the book. It wasn't floating around in the
It's a page turner.
I didn't see it.
It's a page turner, man. Highly recommend go read. If you don't have it now, go read it now. Blu-rays, Black Redemption. It's a page turner. I read that book probably about 3 times in 2 days. Because it's different. Like when you hear of an event and it's something popular, right? And then you always, if you hear a book, you'll look at it of say like a movie. And they came through LA and they was filming, right? And you'll watch the movie, but if somebody say, Melly Mel, I seen you, Big Mizz, I seen you in the movie, right? That's like Clarence Hoover. He like, wait a minute, I ain't in the movie. I'm not so interested in the movie as opposed because I'm a part of that history. So if it don't declare or show my presence, I can't authenticate it because I was right there, right? And they saying they went through Manchester Park and they didn't see Big Mizz, right? They went through the Tanners and they didn't see Melly Mel. I can't authenticate it because I was there at the time, right? But when somebody turns around and tells you, hey, you in the book, homie, you should go check it, or you in the movie, you're gonna be front and center. Popcorn, big ass $10 soda. You watching every part of it. You looking for every screen to see where am I at in this piece, right? That's how I looked at the Tookie book. Like, I'm in this activity. This is the activity that shaped my life. That's why it's so intriguing for me. Like when Kev Mack, when you come out, Kev Mack come out, and y'all telling these stories and giving this, documenting this history, man, this is what shaped my life. I value it differently. You follow me?
Mizz, can you share an impactful moment or a period in your time, and possibly when you was in the pen that in the most critical hour, probably something that just changed your mind about everything you was doing, and you had to reevaluate and rethink how you move in your next phase of life?
2 things. It was actually 2 things. It was when I was told my mother passed away, and when I found out that the dudes that were supposed to be the homies had dropped a bunch of confidential information on me that I had the phones and tobacco on the yard. So that's when I started seeing that, you know what, man, this ain't right here. I had to make some quick decisions because I was getting ready to go to the board. So I had to make some quick decisions, and I don't really I saw that this shit is faulty, man. Look, I was on level 4s for 10 years, level 3s for 12 years, level 1s, level 2s, got kicked off to level 2, back to a level 3, so I done pretty much seen it all. And one thing, I be like looking at these dudes and they be making it seem like that a level 4 or level, I saw some level 2s get cracking more than I saw level 4s. And I saw some level 4s get cracking a little more than I saw level 3s, so it just depends on what yard you on and who on that yard at the time. So my mother passing away, I promised her I would get out of prison, man. She told me, man, my mother came and see me Saturday, and I think she died that Sunday. She died that Sunday or Monday. She died on my brother's birthday. And you know, it was I thought about what she said, and I thought about what my father had told me. My father was going into surgery, and I talked to my father the night before he went into surgery, and I knew he wasn't gonna make it, and he knew he wasn't, but he didn't want to live no more because they had to cut his legs off. So he didn't say he didn't want to live no more, but the prognosis on the surgery was like shit, 20% chance of making it. And he went in there anyway, so he passed. But before he went in there, because I was one of the ones that was in there for something that I didn't do, so I was continuing to fight my case. And I had went all the way to the United States Supreme Court and I lost it, man. And I remember, man, that was a blow, man, because all the prayers and everything that I had believed in, you know, praying with my moms and stuff, nothing came to fruition, man. So I'm like, damn, bro. But my father said this before he passed away, man. And he said, look, son, in a house, there's many ways out of a house, man. He said, you got a front door, a back door. The house we lived in had a front, back, and side door. And it had windows. And he said, remember I used to sneak out the windows and stuff like that? He said, that's how you get your ass out of prison. He said, you might can't. He said, I don't understand. You know, you want to prove you're innocent, man, but you did everything you could. Now you got to start working with the board, man. You got to start working with whatever they want you to do. You got to start doing it. Because I was one of them. I ain't doing no AA. I ain't doing no NA. I ain't doing no CGA. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing but going to the law library and keeping up shit if I had, if I could, because you in there, you miserable, and you want everybody else miserable, But my mother dying, and me finding out that these dudes that I've been representing and pushing, that they was like dropping kites on me, man, and confidential informants. Because see, sometimes them police in there, man, they'll get your C file and they'll tell you who is who, man. They'll tell you, man, oh, these supposed to be your friends right here? Man, these dudes is the ones that's finna get you a shoe program. So I said, you know what, I'm good. I'm good, man. And from that point, I started seeing I didn't care where you was from. I didn't care who you was. I didn't even care your ethnicity. If you was a solid individual, yeah, I was gonna stand on that.
That's all, man. That's awesome, man. And you did 28 years, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah, 28 years and some months.
And it was for a crime you did not do?
Nah, it didn't have nothing to do with it, homie. That's real talk. And I remember that's what they always say. Man, look, I done been home 12 years. Why would I say I didn't do it if I done did the time. That's what I was telling you about, man. These ripple effects, bro. Me being in there, it all those years, the ripple effect from that, man, is my mother died while I was in there. My father died while I was up in there. I had a family member, because I was on, bro. I had accumulated a lot of things in them 80s through that, through that game. Through that game we was rocking at the time. So I had did real good, man. I had a family member came through and just like bulldozed, bro. Just like took everything, man. While I'm grieving about my mother, he signing checks and pulling money out, and this is my stuff. This ain't my mama's stuff. He taking my stuff too, So it was the ripple effect of that, me going in there. I had never in my life, in my wildest dream, experienced homelessness. I experienced it coming home. I had to go to the auction, man, and get they had a Capri Classic up there. And they started off the bid with $200, man, a 1987 Capri Classic, man. And I ended up getting it for $700. I had $1,000. I ended up getting it for $700, man. And I still got that car today. I don't drive it no more. It's just parked. But that car probably got the better engine than any of my cars, you know. And I slept in that car for 6 months, man. 6 months, bro. And it's crazy, man. I'm gonna tell you a quick story right quick. I was sleeping in the car and I had been gone for so long, I forgot that my homeboy lived here. And so many homeboys had moved away. I didn't think nobody lived over there no more. So I just saw a tree there and I said, man, this feels like a comfortable place to sleep. So he pulls up in the driveway about 2 or 3 in the morning. His name was Keith Portier. God rest his soul. He passed away. And he pulled up in the driveway and he was drunk. And he looked at, he said, who is this in his ass parked in front of my mother? You know, jump stuff. And I pulled the thing down, right? You know, the little covers down because it was cold, man. And I pulled the little covers down. And he looked at me. He said, Mizz Mo. He knew who I was. And I was trying to figure out, who is this dude, man? He said, this Keith Portier. Man, and my eyes lit up, man. He said, man, what you doing out here, man? Come in. And he let me stay with him for a little while, bro. And I started, you know, getting myself up on my feet from that point, man. You know, so I think, man, something I say all the time, bro, that, you know, I look at these politicians and all these dudes, you know, in these positions and making these decisions over people's lives, bro, and they ain't never went through no struggle. They ain't never had a hard time. They don't know what it is to be homeless. They don't know what it is to be up under an addiction. They don't know what it is to be shot. I done had everything happen to me, man. Everything that you could think of, I done had it happen to me in this lifetime. Somebody was saying, man, you ought to run for office, bro. You ought to run for office because, you know, it's like, you know, experience is the best teacher, man. Experience is the best teacher. Once you experience something, bro, you know, how can somebody tell you about it? Like people be trying to tell me about prison when I be going to these little meetings because I got the nonprofit Fair Chance Project. And I be going to these different meetings and stuff, and people be trying, man, you ever been to prison before? Like, nah, man, but man, you talking to somebody that was there, that lived there 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day for 28 years and some change. How you gonna tell me something? You know, and even dudes that go in there and do 1, 2, 3 years. That ain't to me. Nah, man. You don't even really get. You might do in that 2 or 3 years time. They might not have no rides. You might be on a sweet yard where ain't nothing going on, man. But you do, and that's not to say that people done did, you know, short time that, you know, that make them any less of a man. I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm saying a lot of people, man, you wonder why. What the brother was saying, you wonder why people is constantly doing things that's not in accordance to how the rules are supposed to be. That's because these dudes ain't really had to sit down, man. They ain't had to sit down, man, and you know, and go through it and fight for your freedom. I tell people on the radio all the time that you don't know what losing your freedom is, but when it's gone, it's hard to get it back.
True.
Man, you can lose your freedom, man. One decision, bro. One decision, man. You could lose your freedom, man. And once they got you, man, it's a wrap. They like a spider and don't want to take them veins out of you, man. And they either gonna get you physically, they're gonna drain you physically, or they're gonna drain you physically, emotionally, or financially. They gonna get you. Look at, you know, and I hate to bring up his name, but look at Big U, man. Look at that brother, man. You know, I don't know the allegations that's on him, if any of it is true or whatever it is, man. But can you imagine, man, this man did an incredible job. Put a son, bro, and his son played for the Chargers, man. Balling. Son played for the Chargers, man, and he don't even get to see his son start the season off, man. They come put that out, man. He got so many charges, I can't count that shit, man. All them charges, I'm like, damn. They got him for this, and they got him for that, and they got him for this and that. And see, this is why, man, you can't never let your guards down with these people, bro. You can't never think you the big shot. You can't never think, oh, I'm the man. You can shit. Look at what they did to Puff Daddy. You know, you can't never, man, put your guards down with these people, man. You can't never let these people know your business. Just put it that way. You cannot let these people know, even if it's legitimate business and you successful, you don't want these people knowing all your business, man. You don't want nobody knowing all your business, man, because we're in a hating ass society, man. Hating ass society. Well, all it takes is for somebody to call an FBI agent and say something about you, man, and start an investigation, man. And not only you get screwed, but the people you talking to get screwed, because they gonna get them on a conspiracy. It's too easy to go to jail now, man. And these dudes don't understand. So, man, y'all got me doing all this talking, man. You know, I run the whole damn show out, man. Shit.
Man, go ahead, bro. I mean, you cooking, bro. When you cooking, I gotta let you go.
Yeah, man. But you know, it's you know, I'm just trying to, like, I know I'm jumping from topic to topic because I'm trying to let people understand and see. As far as, you know, when you're talking to somebody that's experienced, they got a testimony, bro. You know, it's easy, man. It's easy, and I feel like that this is what God put me here for now. It's to wake people up, make people aware, you know, understand. I remember, man, I was talking to somebody today, bro, and we was talking about, he was, you know, and you know, if a person likes Donald Trump or whatever, okay, I'm not tripping off of that, man, you know. But he was just like all Trump, and he come today, man, F Trump, man. Them terrorists messing me over, man. And I look at, hey, I do what you did, man. And I said, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. I ain't trying to hear that, bro. I sit up there and told y'all, he told y'all what he was gonna do. He told y'all. That's why when Mexicans be trying to complain to me about it, how you gonna complain? No, you thought you was cool with them. You thought them was the homies, man. You know, now they coming. I don't care if you've been here 30 years working with a job, with the taco truck or something, they shutting you down, man. You know, but this is what the people, you know, some
and treating you in an inhumane way, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Sometimes the people, bro, they don't know what they want. See, this is the thing. And that's why I can't stand a person who votes and they are an ignorant voter. You know, just like somebody called me, man, Trump, he gonna give us stimulus checks. if he do, it's because these high ass tariffs we paying these taxes on.
It's all taxpayer money, brother.
It's all taxpayer money, man. That don't mean shit, man. And see, dudes don't understand the game, man, because nobody we talked about that the other day, Melly, man. Everybody want to get it overnight, man. Don't nobody want to wait. Don't nobody want to, you know, they see Melly Mel pushing in the roads. They like, oh man, well, he think he all that and this, and that. And they don't know Melly Mel struggle. Melly Mel had to work hard to get this, man. Melly Mel doing everything he can to get this, you know, whatever overhead you have, you know, they don't know the struggle you're going through. So instead of them saying, hey, Melly Mel, can I holler at you for a minute? Man, can I grab hold of your coattail, man? You can tell
That's
me
funny
how
that you mentioned that too,
this.
man.
No, they not gonna do that.
It's like when we was all out on the block, man, dude. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you was going in and out. Yeah, I can hear
you. Okay, cool. I'm gonna let you go in a minute, Rat. When we was out all on the block and stuff, man, it's crazy, man, because we were dudes would actually call the police on you just to get you out the way because you was doing too much or you was getting too much, and they wanted to get you out the way, and they would. I like, what? Come on, man. And it's like you said, man. You get those type of people that police and say, hey, man, that ain't your homeboy. You like, look. You like, what you mean? And they don't give you a whole lot to work on, but you get the justice when they saying what they saying, and you be like, and you be sitting in that cell and you be thinking about it. You know, you be messed up about it because you really like thinking about it. And man, I've seen some of the toughest dudes. I'm talking about dudes that the big mouth, the braggadocious, the fight, and all that stuff, man. They always used to surprise me, man. I'd be like, he told him,
Man,
Mr.
man,
Killer.
it's man, that telling goes so deep. I want to say something right quick. Remember they used to have that saying, "Don't hate the player, hate the game."
Yes.
Remember that saying?
Yes.
I never said that. I said, "Don't hate the game, hate the player." Because the game was messed up. The people that was playing in the game was messing it up. You know, I never understood that. The game was right for me. Nobody in the game hated me. Nobody told it was the people. That's like you got a football game, bro. You don't hate the football game, you hate the people that's playing. If they fumbling, throwing interceptions, you know, not dropping the balls. You know, oh, sorry ass dudes, man. You're gonna be mad at the player. So that's how I look at real life. I'm not hating life, I'm hating the people in it. And I don't even want to use the word hate, but I'm not feeling the people in life. I'm not feeling the ignorance and
Down this day, I say don't hate on nobody.
And the greed.
Don't hate on nobody, but don't wait on nobody either. Go ahead, Brad. I know you want to get in.
Man, you know, I got listening skills. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I like my listening skills, man. I'm so grateful for my listening skills. You know? But nah, man, he said a whole lot. What you know, he said a whole lot, man. Going back to the part about being in prison, man, and all of those challenges, man. You know, and then realizing, man, I got to get out here, and then all of these challenges that people set up for you, that when you was doing good for them, and then you fall, and they let you, you know, nobody reaches to pick you up, man. That's terrible how we are. We terrible. But we do understand.
Terrible.
We terrible, homie. You know what I mean? But we understand that dynamic about ourselves and being game conscious, as we discussed, man. If you know the lay of the land, you know how to navigate it now. Lessons are blessings. You can't take none of the value out of a lesson like that. So now I know if I'm ever in a situation like this, prepare myself for myself, right? Because ain't nobody coming, man. The cavalry not going to run in and take care of that business for me. It was all on me. No. You know what I'm saying? No. And that's terrible though, right? But then I want to say this, man. I want to say that, you know, like I was pointing at the Big Sad and the Blueface situation, right? And what I was getting to is saying that it used to be a time, being from the set, being an original, from where I'm original Playboy gangster, right? Being from the set, it used to be a time where we had influence and sway, right? What we said carried weight, so to speak, right? That has lost its place in probably most of the sets, right? Most of the hoods done lost that, where when the OGs is talking, who used to be the frontliners, but now it's old men for counsel and young men for war, right?
So you keep in mind though, Rat, back then we used to go down 2 doors, maybe a block over, and knock on the door, and he was right there. You can't do that now. You don't know where these people at.
That's true. That's true. But when they show up, I'm just saying, when they show up, right? We at a point right now, right? We're gonna lose it, man, if we don't get on a page with the G's, with the dudes who've been around, like me, has been around doing it since it started and it was going down, right? And now have been able to establish more insight, more perspective of what we could possibly do to change the narrative. If we don't work against the narrative that being affiliated, I hate the idea. Listen, man, I hate this, man. You mean to tell me 1978, right? I could have been a damn doctor somewhere, man, with a law practice up in the a high rise downtown LA with a mansion and 7 wives and all this so crazy stuff, right?
Shout
Whatever
out
I
to the
want.
band.
You know what I'm saying, though? But I'm saying, you mean to tell me that when I got involved in a gang in 1978, right? And we start pushing, right? And then all of these commitments to what amounts to be absolutely nothing. You mean to tell me all of these sacrifices we have made over these years have been for nothing? I don't believe that. I got a big problem with that. And then I take issue to say, man, who's going to change the narrative? Because every homie who's talking, all of the homies that's taught I've heard so far that are talking are saying pretty much the same thing. That gang member, gang stuff is all negative. That's why I keep saying, can somebody tell me if what Tookie did at the end of his life, is that me making a noise, Mel?
No, it's an airplane.
Okay. So that's why I need somebody to clean me up on this, right? Because I'm taking this position, right? It can't be that it's all negative. We just use Tookie as an example. He died, an original member of the Crips, right? Founder of the West Side Crips, right? That's how we gonna always refer to him, right? He died making children's books, doing youth crisis, youth intervention, gang intervention. You mean to tell me that don't mean nothing? It don't amount to nothing? It's just it's all for nothing that he did that? I don't believe that. I got a big problem. And shout out to all the homeboys like Mizz. Mizz got his 501 going on. He got his not-for-profit organization. He's doing community outreach. All of the homies that's doing that. You can't look at him and say, go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off, but for the greater community at large, they interested in make money. And how they make money is from your misfortune, your misdeed, and your misbehavior. Not you per se, don't take it away from you, but people that come from your walks of life. That the funeral makes home, the doctor makes home, the jail makes money. Everybody makes money off of us. Everybody.
I ain't got no problem with
you got people right now suing the state because they not sending enough people to prison. Private prisons.
What you saying is we at war. Man. What you acknowledging right now is what I've been saying all along. We've been at war. We didn't just start going to war.
No.
We've been at war. We was at war before we became Crips. We was already at war. So then now.
So what if all the Crips start writing children's books and start writing programs? What if they all start doing it then?
Talk to me.
Why
come we can't?
Yeah.
Why can't we? I'm just saying. Who's pushing the narrative? Like the narrative is never that. That's why I say this about the big sad. Listen, this is me talking, and this is about my neighborhood being disrespected. Right? This you poop butt. That's a way to disrespect the Playboy gangsters, right? I ain't even heard that in so many years. It's ridiculous, right? But I said, listen, we supposed to have game. Like the G homies, the original homeboys, we supposed to have more game than the young homeboys. In some cases, we don't. Because what they doing, Big Sad is grinding with the little rap shit, and Blueface is grinding with the little rap shit on a level that most of us who like music ain't even thought about. They popular, right? Them little dudes is little gods, man, little giants, right? And we would talk to them and say, because you saying disrespectful stuff about his set, and he's saying disrespectful stuff about your set, why don't y'all just let the bloodsuckers of the poor win and just go murder each other? Unalive each other. That's what we say.
A young lady told me just this morning, did I hear the new Blueface? I said, no. I said, send it to me. She sent it to me, and I immediately cut it off. I don't know what she was hearing or what was it giving her or whatever, but I'm like, huh?
You out of touch, man. You out of touch like me.
No, man. No, I know good music. That was not good music.
Music is always relative to the listener, man. It ain't no such thing as bad music because somebody's listening to it and paying millions of dollars to hear it.
The rhythm and the drum beat wasn't even right, bro.
I'm
So
just
I know it
telling you,
wasn't
man.
no good.
They getting bread though. You know they getting bread for that, right?
Yes.
Them dudes come on the internet, man, and 500,000 people want to hear what they got to say. And they probably got a 50-word vocabulary that they use.
50
Comedy. I don't know if
words,
they got
10
one.
words. How
I didn't
about
want
10
to be.
words?
I didn't want to go too small on it. Hey, Bill, I didn't want to go too small on it. But listen, this is what I said. Because if we're talking about game, right? Take the disrespect, right? And you take that, and then you take your disrespect and that back and forth thing that y'all do, make that a rap beef. Because you ain't over here doing no killing and or unaliving, and you ain't over there doing no unaliving. So both of y'all just talking, right? This kind of talk on rap it has a level of popularity to it. That if you use that type of energy correctly and constructively, you can make it appear to be an actual beef, because in the streets, them two dudes' sets don't get along. So if you was to take that energy, take that rap, let them dudes battle that out on the rap circuit and take the proceeds from that and start 501c3s for both of these neighborhoods, and then let them start monetizing certain areas and aspects of the work that we got to do in the community. Now we taking it out of their hands.
Bad news.
Go ahead.
You can't even trust the 501c2s. All
Yeah.
them is cheesy. Not
Yeah.
all of them, but a large percent of them don't have great intentions.
Yeah, that's a matter of structure, though, man. Who's controlling everything? That's always a matter of structure. I'm saying you killing my idea, man. You Dame Dash said, man, don't tell me the truth while I'm dreaming, man. Let me dream first, right?
I just want to make sure that you're aware, because here's the thing. I know you good. I know Mizz good. But there's a whole lot of dudes out there, man, is imposters. We got to clear the roster for the ineffectiveness, the imposters, and the dudes that's out there faking and shaking, bro.
Yeah. I believe that.
Go ahead, Mizz.
I remember somebody asked me, I think I was on Under the Groove, and they asked me what I thought about the gangs. And I look at the gangs the same. See, us as Black people, we want to be validated, we want to be appreciated, we want to be loved. And a lot of us got that through the gangs, and as I was just talking about the player in the game, we could talk about the gang and the gang member. The gang is not what's messing up, it's the members that's in the gang. Because the LAPD is a gang. The these white sororities on these colleges is gangs. MAGA is a damn gang. All this stuff.
It's all a gang.
Yeah, yes, it's all a gang.
The Republicans and the Democrats is a gang.
Yeah. So they got something in the Democrats called the Gang of 10 or the Gang of 12 or something like that.
The Gang of 8 and all that. Yeah.
The gang, it's the people. I had a conversation with somebody. And I was telling them, I said, man, look, if you had a gang of 35 people and 29 of them people in that gang was going around cleaning up the community, helping elderly people, bringing elderly people food, walking the kids back and forth from school, just policing their community, doing things in their community, man. Keeping the writing off the wall and everything. What you think the other one's gonna do? See, I'm gonna tell you what I noticed since I've been home, man. That 2 to 4 people from each neighborhood, each community, they're messing it up. And the majority won't go against them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I see it. I could plug 4 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if them dudes wasn't on that BS, everything could be. You wouldn't have no shootings or nothing going on in LA. But because you got, see, one of bad apples make all the other apples look bad. If you got a thing of apples and you see 2 rotten ones, you're gonna be thinking about the whole apple batch now. You'll be like, damn, man, you're going to start checking the other apples, investigating it, looking to see if anyone is right. But if you see all the apples is good, you're going to just pick the apple thing up and say, man, I'm going to take these apples. But if you see 1 or 2, 3 bad ones, and that's how society look at this as this gang membership now. Because 1 or 2, 3 people be doing stupid, foul, messed up stuff, it makes everybody look bad. That's why it's not good to be a part of it now.
It's just like when they go ahead, Mizz.
Oh, I guess I was getting the back. Yeah, I guess I was getting the back.
Feed.
The delay back.
Okay.
When I talk to people and they say, oh, the gangs and this and that, like the brother was just saying, like the brother Rap was just saying, you look at Tilky's last days, last years, how that's not going to account for something. It has to account for something. It has to account for something, brother. That man had a big impact on people. He was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, man. Shit, they ain't nominated me. I don't know nobody got nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. The Pope,
I don't know no blood or Crip that don't got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Nah. The Pope spoke out against his execution, but I didn't see a lot of people, like Kanye and Kim Kardashian, all the ones that spoke out for these other dudes. They didn't. If all the people probably would have stepped up on him, Arnold would have probably said, you know what, man, I ain't gonna kill him. I'm gonna just put him. Man, that was politics. That was a bad move. I was in there when they did that, bro. I swear, I swear, I didn't think Arnold was gonna execute him. I can remember going up to Venice Beach and seeing Tookie and Arnold driving together, man, lifting weights together, bro. I didn't understand that one, man. How could you do that, man?
Politics,
then you wonder why these dudes in their later years, they start having all these different issues and they problems. They not having a great life, even with all the money. It's because you got to go back, man. You got to trail them. You got to backtrack and tell them what did he do? The reason why this happening in his life. Sitting up there,
Arnold
man,
look like a mess nowadays.
Yeah, he could have spared that man's life, bro. Could have spared that man. Like, they killed.
If you guys haven't already done so, press the thumbs up. There's a lot of people in the chat, but you haven't pressed the thumbs up. I appreciate it if you go ahead and press them thumbs up. Press them.
Where's the thumbs up at?
Down in the corner.
Yeah, because I don't see it. In the screen we in, I don't see it. But I'm gonna say something too. I want to add something to that, because I remember when I was reading the book, Blue Rage Black Redemption, there was a dude who was a recruiter that was like putting brothers through to be Mr. Olympic or something, Mr. Universe or something like that. Whoever the recruiter was, they was in Venice Beach, and Michael Christian was with the dude, and like they had recruited Michael Christian, something like that in the book, right? And Arnold was right there in that scene as Tookie is describing this scene, right? And the dude asked Tookie, he was amazed at Tookie's physique, right? He was like, how about you, man? You ain't interested in yada, yada, and getting involved in this and whatnot? And Tookie said, nah, man, I don't want that to interrupt my cripping career. You remember that? You know what I'm saying? Took, you know what I'm saying? Nah, man, y'all go on with that, man. I'm gonna stay with this cripping.
Hey, I guarantee you wish he could have took that one back.
Yeah, man.
I'm saying in light of
remember, man, these dudes.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, man, these dudes was like, I don't know how old Tookie was when he called his case, but them dudes was kids, man. You know, and I think all the time about a lot of
You know what's crazy?
my
Watch this.
homies who
Mac Thomas lost his life in 78. Raymond lost his life 79. Tookie basically lost his life in 79 because he was just on a stay, but everything happened in 78 and 79, bro. All the different people that was like the main staples and the power brokers within that movement, 78 and 79, a lot of them. And I'm just naming them three because those are the most notable ones, but there's more.
And you think about all them dudes you just mentioned, that their ages when they passed away, bro. And see, you know what I don't like about someone dying young like that? Because we don't know what they was gonna turn into, man. We don't know. They could have turned into monsters, but they could
So
have
watch
turned
this
into
though. Watch
advocates.
this.
They could have turned
Mizz,
into governors.
F.R.E.
They could have turned into
Raymond,
senators.
yeah. Raymond was born in 1953, right? As a kid, he coming up as a kid. You know what he saw? He saw white boys taking advantage of black people because that's what was there. He didn't see black people fighting, doing anything to each other. What he saw, because during that time, they had the spook hunters that they would come over from Southgate, Huntington Park, Linwood, and Downey. And they would come across the tracks and attack black people in the black areas. And what they would do is run back into their cities. And when the black people try to go retaliate, the police would intervene. See, the police has always been weaponized since 1619. That's how we got police, because the original police was there to capture runaway slaves. They have always been weaponized to attack. That's why when they pull you, they get aggressive with you and they talk to you differently. They're real aggressive. And you're like, wait a minute, hold up, man. What you doing, man? You know, and they wonder why we react the way we act. See, because then they talk about there's good cops. No, till the good cops become anti-bad cop, then all of y'all are bad.
Yeah. They got to be the majority.
They got to be the majority.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Hey,
what
look,
I'm telling you guys is
right
that
there.
these guys born in 53, their dynamics and what they was up against was totally different from what people was up against in 78 and 90, 80 and 90 and 90 and so on and so forth. It was a different dynamic. Well, I'm
because
saying,
of it.
It was the pride. This guy had pride to do what he did. He didn't know it was going to turn into what it turned into.
The Crips pushed a lot of that shit back, man. Listen, man, when that thing bust out, I gotta say this, man. You own one right now. You just hit something. Listen, remember, I don't know, I'm 60, right? So when I was in elementary school, 70, 69, 70, when they portrayed us in social studies in school, right? It was the images that you see of us having hoses put on, the water hoses, dogs suck on us, the police jumping us with white people in the white community. And you would look at that and you would feel ashamed. I don't know how, if that happened to everybody, but when I seen that, I remember being in Riverside when I was in elementary school, because I was between Watts and Riverside, right? And I was in the elementary school and we was watching the coverage of the civil rights struggle, right? And that's how we were portrayed. And while I felt ashamed to be black, while white people was looking at that stuff like they was proud. And it was, did you experience? I'm like, who all experienced that the way I experienced it? Because until I'm telling you, man, this really happened. Until I started cripping, nothing reversed that feeling. The only thing that I remember that really reversed that feeling and gave me a sense of pride to belong to something that you just don't want to F with was when I started gangbanging. When I got into Crips, it was an inspiration to be a part of something that you knew you got to pay a price to bother. Like you can't just bother them. You got to pay a price to bother them, right? That's how the homies started this thing, right? I believe it's our responsibility, man, in the current state of the affairs of the gangs in Los Angeles to step in and make good on the contribution of Raymond, make good on Mac Thomas's contribution, and make good on Tookie's contribution. It's some homies out here that was right there with them doing that, right? And they just need a voice. Like we got to give them a voice and then help them to strengthen their voice so that they can lead out as counsel and we clean this thing up, man. If
Watch
one or
this.
two start, go ahead.
Watch this. 1968, right? Is what we found. We found a independence and a pride that white folks scared them to, shook them to their very core. James Brown wrote a song and he said, "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud." That song went from West Coast to the East Coast and back across to the Midwest and down in the South, down in the Chitlin Circuit and everywhere else. It's vibrated and circulated and everybody had naturals pumping bitches and black jackets, right? That put us, that was like rocket fuel. During that time, the Sons of Watts had the Watts Festival. They would oversee the Watts Festival. The Black Panthers were the protectors of it. I'm telling you, I'm 66, going to be 67 in a couple of months. The Black Panthers, when the police pulled over black people in our community, the Black Panthers pulled up right behind them and monitored the situation. I'm not telling you what I think or what somebody told. I'm telling you what I saw. And it was that propelled Raymond and all these other dudes to come around, because I'm telling you, the pride was there, bro. It just got turned around and it got turned into something else. 1969, David Barksdale was coming out of a bar in Chicago. He was shot. Larry Hoover got crowned king at the time, 1969, right? 1969, Bunchy Carter and Bobby, was it Bobby Hutton?
Was Bobby Seals?
No, Lil Bobby. They got gunned down in UCLA, 1969, right? 1969, Fred Hampton was shot in his bed while sleeping. All this happened in 1969. 1969, J. Edgar Hoover initiated the COINTELPRO against all black organizations. 1969 is when Clarence Hoover escaped from a reformatory down in Arkansas and came to LA. So we got a Clarence Hoover, we got a Larry Hoover, we got a J. Edgar Hoover. I don't know. Hey, bro, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you. Hey, Clarence is my guy. You know what I mean? I know this, but it was just crazy because I'm talking about him with this, right? You know, and I'm looking at all these different dates. 1969, the Crips was formed. If we would have stayed on the trajectory that we were on with the Black Power movement, if Bunchy Carter and the other guy, I think his name was Bobby Hutton, I believe. Don't quote me on it though, but was gunned down in UCLA by the US organizations, allegedly. Allegedly. So from 68 to 69, it was a lot going on. A lot. And if you go back and understand that history and everything and the dynamics of it, 71, 72, the Watch Stacks at the Coliseum. Big Tookie, man. Big Tookie and all these dudes, man, at the whole west side and east side. Because here's the thing, it was the triangle, the west side, east side, and Compton. They Voltron, they was Autobots, man.
John
You
Huggins.
had a problem with one, and they all showed up.
That name you looking for is John Huggins.
John Huggins.
Yeah.
John Huggins.
Yeah.
You had a problem with one, and that during that time, Compton, East Side, and West Side, I showed up, brother. And that was during that time. The Brims was powerful. The Brims was moving, man. And they got into it at the Coliseum at the Wash Stacks, 1972. I don't know how old y'all was.
I remember the Wash Stacks. I had that album.
Yeah.
It was a double
I had
album.
Carnation Milk Breath at that time.
Man, that was Isaac Hayes.
Yes,
Isaac Hayes with the hot butter soul with the chain vest on, you know. But what I'm saying all this to say this,
Yeah, that was
man.
Isaac Hayes, the Barcades.
Yes. Them was some powerful black people, man. I'm talking about prideful black people. Baby Crazy gonna say the Compton Crips is the most prideful Crips ever. I
What's
fell
up,
out
Craig?
laughing.
Craig's old.
Shout out to Baby Crazy, though.
Yes, hey,
But
listen,
yeah.
one more thing.
Go ahead.
That Panther thing, right? That's awesome. So one of my brothers, right, used to say, man, the Crips are the bastard child of the Panthers. And he would say that, and I would always run it back, like, because I get more information. And I'm talking about the spiritual DNA. I ain't talking about the physical DNA, but the spiritual DNA of the Crips is in the spirit. I went to 102nd Street Elementary, right on Wilmington and 103rd, right? And across Wilmington, there was a center. I used to call it the WLCAC, but WLCAC was down Wilmington and Compton. It was another name for that center.
Central. It was on Central. 108.
That was the WLCAC.
Yeah.
Right. Because all the G grapes used to ride their 10 speeds with all the, the reflectors and all that stuff. But anyway, right across the street from 102nd Street Elementary, there was a center right there. And we would go to, before we went to school, we would go to that center. And the Panthers had that school to breakfast to school program where they would come, they would feed us. And, they would teach on us a little bit and give us a little
They
literature.
were running a 10-point program back then.
I personally witnessed that, right? That might have been the last time I saw that might have been 71. But it ain't no coincidence, right? That you talking about all of these coinciding things, these things that are all happening at the same time. That's an assault, man. I keep saying that, man. We was under attack all along. Raymond was under attack.
Every 10 years, brother.
Come on, man. We got to do something about that, though.
If that happened in 69, the next incident happened in 79. Raymond, Tookie, Mac, gone. Look what happened in 89. The feds came in and took everybody to the feds. They took all the big, Mizz, you know that. In 89 is when the feds came and started snatching up all the big ballers in Los Angeles. 89.
Yeah, I was already in jail, so.
Yep. Remember they had the $1 million row in the county jail.
Yep. Yeah, I was still in the county jail fighting my case.
There has never been a Mexican module, and there has never been a white boy module, but there's been a Crip module and a blood module. Why? It's a violation against our civil rights. That's why they quietly closed it, and you can't go find no info. Go try to search the Crip module on the internet and see what you come up with. It was an intelligence gathering campaign.
Yeah, that was one of the most despicable,
it was inhumane, brother.
Man, that shit was crazy, man. And brothers over there, the way they was mistreating each other, man, it's just, man.
All that shower shoes and whooping people, stripping them naked and all that different crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
All the homosexuality, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see that
But you
that
know,
little clip? Go ahead, Miz.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Did you see that clip I shared about from Brother Nuri Muhammad about mind wars? Did I send you that?
Yeah.
Do you know he says at the end of all of these different types of war strategies, right? Clashing with the mind, psyops, people coming into the community, controlling the information, controlling the narratives, right? And dropping stuff on you in such a way that at the end of it, it makes you clash with one another. So they don't have to clash with you because after the psyops operations that they put in there with the information gangsters and the opinion gangsters and all of these people rolling in with all of this different misinformation and disinformation campaigns against the Crips, we're not known for our intellect. We ain't known for that, right? Some of us have popped out and established that we want our smarts. We want our recognition for intelligence, right?
Well,
But we're
that's
not
why the
known for
Black
that.
Panther Party had to be eliminated because they was intellect. They went to Harvard. They went to Berkeley, UCLA,
Right,
USC. They went to
right,
Stanford. They had to be annihilated
right.
because if that ideology had seeped down and went into the Crips and so on and so forth to the Bloods, it would have been a different outcome, brother.
All right, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off because I think they're gonna kill us. No, I'm just
Peace.
clowning. I'm just clowning. I'm just clowning. I'm
Peace.
here, man. I'm here,
Peace.
Bill.
Okay.
I'm here.
But Miz, talk to me, man. Miz, we gotta get together, man, as often as we can, man, and push what we push, brother. You too, Rat.
Yeah, I don't have no. Well, I've said that's why I was telling Bub. I talked to Bub. We don't go too long without talking, and he like, man, I'm trying, and but it shouldn't just be him trying. It shouldn't be just you trying. And I understand people have a format. I watch, some people things, some people's podcasts or whatever you want to call it. I watch them, and when it starts going over into the negative part, I don't want to hear that part of it no more. Some of these influencers, whatever you want to call it, they have the ability to do the right thing. It's just they don't want to. They don't want to, probably because they're still young. See, that's the
But
thing
their
about
motives
this.
are different. They're motivated by a monetary equivalent. Because here's the thing, man. I tell people all the time: those who feed you can also starve you.
Yeah,
Don't allow these people to feed you.
that no,
You
that's
ain't
like
got
my
to be scared
nephew.
all the time. Let them be scared sometime. That's what the homie Blue Fly used to tell me in the feds. The man was serving the chicken on the line. Me and Blue Fly going to get the chicken. And Blue Fly looked up and said, "Hey, man, give me another piece of chicken." He said, "Man, don't be scared all the time. Let them be scared sometime."
I heard that. I heard
Rest in
that.
peace,
Shit.
Blue Fly, man. Rest in peace, man. My guy, he was from 4th Trey Hoover,
Yeah,
man.
I think that people are attractive to I remember when I was inside, man, man, Jerry, you know how many rides it was behind Jerry Springer, man?
How many, man? You kidding me?
People wanted to watch that.
Now, we definitely got to talk about this. Jerry Springer?
Jerry Springer? Shit.
A
Anybody
riot
getting
behind
time know
Jerry
about Jerry
Springer.
Springer, man?
Come on, man.
Shit.
Tell us the story, man.
Jerry Springer, all the rides I was in started because of Jerry Springer, a Soul Train, man.
You have got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not. Shit. No, I'm not. Mm-mm.
What was it about Jerry
one at
Springer?
the Actually, because it was the girls fighting, and the homosexuals coming on there saying I'm really a man. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was funny, man. You know, the homosexual coming on there saying, you was with me. Yeah, we was with each other all month, and now you want to deny it on here. And he like, and the guy be sitting next to his girl, and she'll be looking at him all crazy and stuff. And people just to be mesmerized in that. And at the same time, it could be something educational going on, or anything. Some positive program going on. They want to watch Jerry Springer. Damn it, they gonna fight to watch that shit. Cause it kept negative content on there.
Shit, that's how they using the internet right now. A version of Jerry Springer.
And like the conversation we having right now, because it's not based on, the foundation is not on negativity. People probably will watch for a minute and say, oh, they not talking about nothing. But we was talking about I slapped Joe Bo or so-and-so knocked out so-and-so, something like that. They glued to it. They glued to it. But when you're talking about Wall Street or talking about people having to stand in long lines to get, trying to get these, at these food banks, what's going on with the government, people probably don't even know that about the government shutdown. They just, man, I ain't got my stamps, man. Why I didn't get my stamps this month? They don't even know why. But they know that clown knocked out G-Rock last night. They know all that shit. They don't know nothing about why they didn't get their food stamps.
That's why when I was listening to Captain Shaheed, rest in peace, he told me this a long time ago. He said, brother, when you go to a restaurant and you order your food, don't never tell them, may I have? He said, brother, tell them you would take a steak. Let them know that you may just take the steak. Don't be sitting up in these places begging. That's your money. You ain't got to beg, brother. Captain Shaheed tell me, right? And ever since he told me that, man, I have never said, man, I'll take a hamburger. I'll take an order fry. I'll take a lobster dinner,
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Money.
It's it's I think just like the conversation we having tonight, I think for those listening, they can extract something that'll get them to the next day, bro.
Nova Scotia.
They can extract something from this that could get
Shout out
them
to
through
Josh in Nova Scotia. I see y'all.
I teach this workshop up at Washington High School.
Brian Harper.
Part of it. And I had them fill out a form. And I said, y'all bring the form back next week.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Thanks, Brian. Big homie T. Rogers came from Chicago to LA in '69. So I'm telling you, man, all this '69 and '68 stuff is not coincident, brother. But go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Mizz. I apologize.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So I teach a workshop, 15 youth up at Washington High School, and I had them to take a questionnaire home. And I told them to bring it back the following week. So the following week, come up, and where the paperwork at? Oh man, and I told them because they get paid to sit in this class, and they get $30 to sit in this class for an hour, or an hour and 15 minutes or something. And I say, man, you showing me that you have no type of responsibility when all you had to do was bring a paper back filled out, man. And you had a week to fill it out. I didn't ask you to fill it out right then. I asked you to fill it out now. And if you don't, some say, I didn't even hear what you said or something like that. I said, okay, see, that's that in this community, that's why people get shot, because they're not paying attention. That's why people go to jail, because they're not paying attention. That's why a lot of things happen to people, because they're not paying attention. And I'm trying to teach them youth that you want to pay attention so you can be responsible. You can't be responsible if you're not paying attention, man. You have to pay attention. So this is what we have to have. This is how we have to start getting at these youth, man. We have to hang. And I'm sorry, man, but you got to have a dangling carrot, man. You got to have something that they can reach to, man. You got to have something they can say, oh, here go a carrot. You got to have something for them, because now when you try to just come over to somebody and tell somebody something, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. Well, what's in it for me? That's what most people words in it. Okay, man, I'll give you $30, man. Just sit down here for an hour, man, and listen to my spiel, bro. All right, it's a little workshop. We go through triggers, causative factors, community engagement, relapse prevention, a lot of different variety things where people have suffered trauma. Like I said, I suffered trauma. Shit, I was just shot last August. So shit, I'm still kind of like seeing cars come by, and I'm kind of like, like, oh shit, pulling up. I'm like, oh shit, kind of PTS on me right now. So it's a.
So that was 3 months ago.
No, I got shot August 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, but shit, I'm still, I'm still having issues from that, man. Getting shot at 61 years old, shit, that was hard on me, man. So I think we have to catch the youth where we could catch them at. We have to catch them, like you might could catch them somewhere. Rat might could catch them somewhere. I'm catching them at the school. I'm catching 15 units at the school, and I got 12 weeks to work on them. I got 12 weeks to work on them to try to try to give them a toolbox. When they encounter certain things in life, they got a toolbox, and I help them put some tools in there to where they can say, okay, I seen this before. I heard this right here before. Because I wish, man, somebody would have came home from prison after doing 28 years, and they would have told me all these traps was out there for me. See what people like me do, people who have come to their senses, who are in their right mind now, they uncovered them traps, and they put the traps out in clear view for people to see them. Now, if you step in the trap, and I told you the trap is right there, and you step in it anyway, your ass deserves to go to jail as far as I'm concerned. Because you was told that's a trap. Don't step right there. And you step in there anyway. And that's why I tell people, you got to be observative. You got to pay attention. That's just not for the youth. That's anybody. You got to pay attention, man. You got to listen to people sometimes, man. Just like the brother just said, he's a good listener. I'm a good listener. Male listens. You got to listen, man. You got to listen to what somebody say, man. Because just listening to Rat, about the death thing, that gave me another perspective, because I listened.
I'm gonna tell you, man, one thing in truck driving, Rat's a truck driver, I'm a truck driver, right? And Rat gonna know when I say this. One thing you don't do in truck driver, never pass a sign without knowing what that sign said. Never, I'm gonna say it again. Never shout to Am Bell, shout to Am Boogie. Never pass a sign and not know what that sign said.
Never.
You know
what? I'm gonna get all scientific and shit. Wait, I gotta get scientific, man. I gotta get scientific for a second. So in the quantitative reasoning that I was gonna bring, right? Based on our conversation, this is what we gotta consider. We gotta find a way to reenact the Jerry Springer shit on the show and teach while we doing it. We gotta edutain. We gotta get a Jerry Springer type like format. And then we gotta edutain with that, man. We gonna get monetized, man. I'm in the group. Listen, man, I'm in the group. We gotta get, like you say, if men say it's a real talk, you gotta catch them where they at. That's where their mind is at. It's in the gutter. You gotta go into the gutter and pull them out. You can't stay up on the top of the surface clean and ride past them. And man, y'all need to come up out of there. Man, that ain't gonna work.
You gotta literally crawl in the rabbit hole to go find them. They so far down in the rabbit hole, and bring them back to the surface. That's
And
why,
some
man,
of
I
these
made a
dudes,
sense. I turned my circle into a square. That way I can see everybody in my corner.
yeah, some of these dudes, man, are listen. It's just like I say, man, it's a lot of peer pressure. It's a lot of, because I talk to youngsters all the time, and when they not around certain people, they whole demeanor is different. They whole get out is different. Because I say, man, don't bring that shit over here to me. I don't want to. I don't care who. I don't care. I don't want to hear none of that shit. What you trying to do? You trying to? You got you a job? You got you you trying to get your place together, you trying to get all this shit. I don't want to hear nothing about none of that other shit, man.
I wrote a
That shit is,
curriculum, man, called Nail Guns Over Handguns. Nail guns is the metaphor for building, correcting, plumbing, electrician, framing, drywalling, carpentry. Those trades will all be, AI can't do those. I don't give a damn how good AI is. It can't do that. At least not yet. They working on synthetic, but that's a whole nother deal right there.
yeah. Remember
But
with Doe Mel when we was in school, you said that was a requirement.
the metal shop, the welding shop, the wood shop,
Printing, yeah,
print shop,
printing, yeah, print shop,
drafting.
yep. All that was a requirement. I wonder why they took all that out of school, man.
Because they need you dumbed down and comatose. They need you making mistakes so they can make money off you. They send you to prison. They send you to the funeral home from birth to burial, man. It's $1 million, if not more.
We at war. That's part of the warfare, y'all.
Well, I think Bob Marley said it best. This is war.
That's one of my
Well,
favorite
you know,
ones.
you know what I look at it as? I look at it as like the brother saying we're at war, and I look like, man, I look at it like we're on a ship, man. We're on a war ship, and the ship done took hits. It done took hits, and it's sinking, man. It's sinking, and we were smart enough to throw the rafts out there and get to the shore, But now still people on the ship, man, and we have to say, okay, man. Am I going to throw my raft out there and pull them in? Because you got to be careful who you pull in, because they might pull you back in the water.
Yep.
So
So you got to
that's
be
why
careful who you
Harriet
pull
Tubman
in.
and Nat Turner did what they did. They couldn't take everybody.
You can't take everybody, man. That's what I'm saying. You can't take everybody. You can only take the ones that want to go. See, if a person don't want to go, man, you know what? And I don't like to get, like religious, but the Bible say that many are called, but few are
Few
chosen,
chosen.
man. So you gotta be careful who you choose, man.
Well, I want
You
y'all
gotta
both, when
choose
we
some
get off
wrong
this
ones.
live, for y'all to better understand where we at. It's called the Act of 1710. Meritorious manumissions. Protect white wealth, protect white property, snitch, manufacture, lies against anyone that's doing anything against white property and white wealth. And I give you freedom.
Come on now.
Go read it for yourself. Don't take
Come
my
on now.
word.
I
Go read
read
it.
it.
Yeah,
I read it.
yeah. That law still applies today. Hey, fellas, but I got to get up out of here, man. It's been a good one. We'll do it again.
Good one, y'all. Peace to
It's a
my
good
brothers,
one.
man.
Thanks to my big
Nice meeting
man.
you,
Thanks
Rat.
to
Good to meet you, homie. More in the
peace
future,
and
man.
blessings, man. Peace and
All right.
blessings.
Hey, your homeboy Coco just text me.
Yeah. Glenn, he doing his thing, man.
Coco,
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
boy,
tell
man.
Coco I said what's up, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. Peace out, everybody.
Peace,
Peace.
y'all.
Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. A high level conversation, very powerful. Man, we was getting it in, guys. I appreciate that. I really do, man. But once again, Press Melly Mill, church movement, don't mind me just watching. But go ahead and lock that door.
Cali finest, baby. Move a grind all the time. Music money, got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the feds get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a pro fish the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shining. That's hard work, proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me, that's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking, and I don't talk about it, I just make it happen.